So this video is to show you my forecasting abilities, because I'm going to call right now what are the 5 sportive milestones that I will achieve this year. Just as I was able to call the exact time of my first marathon that, as you know, I trained in just 2 months, 8 weeks. I know that in the next 12 months, I'm going to achieve the following.
I am the CEO and founder of Selfmastered, which is a high-performance training company. We help entrepreneurs and business leaders scale their businesses by teaching them 8 core high-performance skills that allow them to operate at peak potential when managing their businesses.
So what are these 5 milestones that I want to achieve? Well, I want to dive deep into endurance training and long distance running because I enjoy it a lot, and it proves something that I have known for a few years at this point, which is how powerful is the mind-body connection. And in order to prove you how invested I am in this concept, let me tell you about the story of old Liam. When I graduated from my architectural school a decade ago, I was a complete mess, as you know. I had developed narcolepsy, I had a lot of back problems, I couldn't focus very much because all those all-nighters, all that stress had created a host of physical conditions that I had to recover from. And one of the things that I developed was back pain, extremely painful back pain. Every few months, every 3, 4, 5, 6 months, I would have massive sciatic attacks that in some cases will take me to the hospital. And in some cases, I will not move for 3, 4, 5 days, even a week. So for a few years, especially when I was climbing fast the corporate ladder and when I went from basically 0 to investment director in 30 months, there was a lot of stress, of course. There was a lot of work involved. And during that period, a couple of times, or 3 times, I ended up in the hospital, right? Because there was a lot of stress that affected my back. And so how did it fix this? How I stopped having these sciatic attacks? By studying the work of Dr. John Sarno, a medical rehabilitation specialist that wrote a book called Healing Back Pain, in which he said that most of the back pain that he had treated throughout his career had a psychosomatic origin, meaning there was a result of an inability to process negative emotions, notably anger, but also stress. He said, when the brain has too much negative repressed emotions in the unconscious mind, when those emotions threaten to become conscious and then therefore you're aware of those emotions, it will create a host of symptoms, pain, nuisance, so that you pay attention to those systems and you don't pay attention to the emotion. So the pain is basically a reflection of your inability to process the negative emotions. And as soon as I learned this, to me it was eye-opening because I knew it was true. Even though I was having incredible results in my professional career, I was having a lot of stress. I was having to manage high-stakes situations every week. I was alone pitching 30 million investments to a host of private equity when I was in consulting on my own, only 1 year into my real estate career. And that was, of course, very demanding from the emotional side. So as soon as I learned this, I started doing all the work that Dr. Sarno recommends in order to fix my back. And I did it. So right now, if you are going through massive back pain, please check John Sarno's book. Start with Healing Back Pain. It really changed my life. And if you have this, it can very well help you fix it. Now, that's when I understood the connection between mind and body, right? And this is why when I said that I was going to run a marathon in less than 4 hours with just 8 weeks of preparation, I was totally positive that I was going to achieve it. Because my mind had an insane belief that this was an inevitability, which is why it happened the way it happened. So, because I know the power of the mind, of course, the power of the mind paired with training and a process of goal setting, and I follow our methodology in order to pull that off, I know that the following 5 things that I'm going to tell you are going to happen if I want them to happen. First, I'm going to run a 10K run, which is very simple at this point, but I want to run the Real Madrid 10K run, which is happening in January the 30th, I believe. It's a 10K run, very simple, and the goal is to beat my previous time, which was, I believe, 44 minutes and 27 seconds. Now, number 2 is I want to run, of course, another half marathon, and I want to do it faster than last time. Last time was Madrid's half marathon. I did it in 1 hour, 44 minutes and 59 seconds. And in this year, I will probably attempt or Alicante's half marathon, which is happening on February 20th, or Salamanca's half marathon, which is happening in March 6th, I believe. Either one of these 2 dates, I will be running and beating my own chrono. Then number 3, of course, is, you guessed it, a marathon. I want to run one more marathon this year. And initially I wanted to run Barcelona Marathon, but then they changed it. So I'm going to be running Zaragoza's marathon, which is also Spain National Championship. Of course, my goal is to run faster than I run in Malaga, which was 3 hours and 48. And the dream is to run in less than 3 hours and 30 minutes. It is very hard, very complicated to pull it off, but I have the absolute convincement that I will do it. So, Zaragoza Marathon in less than 3 hours and 30 minutes. That's number 3. And what about number 4, you might be asking? So 10K, half marathon, marathon, what's next? Ultra marathon? No, let's change gears. I want to finish a half Ironman. Precisely, Tallinn's, Estonia's capital, half Ironman on the 7th of August 2022. And I'm going to Tallinn because one of our teammates lives in Tallinn, Benjamin George, and he challenged me to do this Ironman with him. And of course, Yannick, who's now part of the company, is also joining. Remember, Yannick was a client and now he has become our CMO. He will also be partaking in that Ironman. And we also have a few friends from here, Europe, that are going to be doing the same. So on the 7th of August, I will be finishing half Ironman of Tallinn. And I will be doing so the first of all the group. So here's my message to all of my fantastic teammates and friends. I am honored to run and partake in this event with you, but you won't win over me. So that's number 4. And what about number 5? Well, number 5, I wanted to be climbing and summiting one of the 7 highest peaks in the world. This is a challenge called the 7 Summits, and it's a dream that I have had since I was a kid. And these 7 summits are Denali in North America, Aconcagua in South America, Kilimanjaro in Africa, Mount Elbrus in Caucasus, Russia, Mount Everest in Asia, and PUNCAK JAYA, or Karsten Pyramid, in Indonesia. And of course, and Mount Vinson in Antarctica. That's the 7, right? Denali, Aconcagua, Elbrus, Kilimanjaro, Everest, PUNCAK JAYA, and Mount Vinson. One of these 7 summits will be summited by me and some co-expeditioners this year. I don't know which one and I don't know when, but most probably, in order to make it as easy as possible, it's going to be one of the easiest. So either Kilimanjaro and Elbrus. But the final summit that I will be attempting and achieving will be largely depending on travel restrictions and all that health regulations, right? Which we need to take into account. But in any case, the 5th milestone that I'm really looking forward to achieve this year is climbing one of the 7 summits, most probably, again, Elbrus or Kilimanjaro. So this is it. I'm calling it now. I'm going to do these 5 things in the next 12 months, of course, as well as running our 7-figure consulting company and coordinating a couple of masters in IE University and doing a bunch of stuff. And I really know that this is going to happen. This is what high performance looks like. This is what we teach to our people. And if you believe that you want to have this level of performance, if you want to do all of this stuff, if you want to have as much fun as we have while building incredible stuff and scaling your company, well then, why don't you join us? Why don't you become a self-master entrepreneur professional with us so we can help you achieve all of these things? So follow this channel because what we have in store is going to be incredible. See you in the next video.